Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Telecast TV. I'm Mira Kangala. You're watching an APC Chieftain speaking about President Tinubu re-election 2027. He was speaking extensively to the president, saying that he should not mind the pointless defection of the governors to the APC. He does not call that he will win 2027 presidential election. That Peter Obi is a force and can win this election without any structure, but with the power and forces of the masses. That all these governors who are defecting to APC are just doing so and they are baseless. But where President Tinubu should focus on is on the grassroots, on how to capture the grassroots. If not, Peter Obi will come and win this election. Never to watch this video to end. Don't forget to subscribe so that you will not miss trending videos.
So what I'm advising Mr. President, as a political observer, as a member of APC, he should be very careful with this issue of defection. Because the election which will take place in 2027, it is political parties versus masses of Nigeria. So the downtrodden masses will decide. When I had many governors have been defecting or members of APC, I look at it, my own opinion, as a political nomadism. And also at the same time, I look at it as immaterial. They are wasting their time. Because if you review the election of 2015 and 2023, you come to believe with me that there's no point for this unnecessary political defection. Because Peter Obi was in Abga with us. In 2003, when Peter Obi ran election with Mbanuji and Ngige, Abga doesn't have structure in Anambra State. But going by the election result, we have exhibited at the Election Petition Tribunal, Abga won about 17 local government out of 21 local government in Anambra State. On the genuine election result, we have exhibited before the Election Petition Tribunal. He doesn't have any structure. We don't have structure. And in 2023, Peter Obi defected from PDP to Labour Party. Labour Party doesn't have one councillor, talkless of member House Assembly or National Assembly or governor or president. But he was able to defeat Tinubu in his own home state, in Lagos State. He was able to defeat the Director General of the Tinubu campaign organization, Simon Lalong, in Plateau State. And Labour was able to defeat the national chairman of APC, Abdullahi Adamu, who was 2 times governor of Nasarawa State, a senator, a sitting national chairman, defeated in his doorstep. Come to the seat of power and defeat APC and PDP in Abuja. All the southeast, where APC has a governor, David Omahi, has a Almighty Hope Ozidima, have Abia State where they have Ojus Okalu, and many others. He defeated all the 5 southeastern states, and he came to the south, defeated Delta, a vice president to Atiku Abubakar, Okowa. Labour won. Almighty Adas Oshomole was defeated in Edo State, a former national chairman of a party, still senator. You understand? So the experiment is there. Mr. President and the APC, nobody should deceive them. So what I'm advising Mr. President, as a political observer, as a member of APC, he should be very careful with this issue of defection. Mr. President should come back and took his campaign promises and organize a think tank who will advise him how to reach out to the grassroots. Because the election which will take place in 2027, it is political parties versus masses of Nigeria. So the downtrodden masses will decide.
Let us start with a simple question. When a man's house is on fire, when the roof is collapsing, when the walls are crumbling, when the people inside are screaming, what kind of man ignores the flames and starts redecorating the living room? That, in plain terms, is what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing right now. While millions of Nigerians are suffocating under the weight of crippling inflation, sitting in darkness because electricity has become a luxury, burying their relative because bandits and terrorists roam freely, and skipping meals because the naira has been reduced to near worthless paper, the president and his political machinery are busy counting defectors, organizing rallies, and confidently mapping out a 2027 re-election strategy. The audacity is breathtaking. The delusion is dangerous. And if Alhaji Sani Shinkafi, a man from within the APC itself, is already sounding the alarm bells, then the bubble Tinubu is living in is even more fragile than most people dare to say out loud. This is a story of why 2027 will not go the way Tinubu camp thinks it will. This is the story of a man who confused noise for victory, defectors for voters, and political theater for governance. And this is the story of why, if nothing dramatically changes, the 2027 presidential election could become the most stunning political collapse in Nigerian democratic history. On the surface, Tinubu pre-2027 political strategy looks formidable. Governors crossing from PDP to APC, senators switching camps, state chairmen and party officials doing public declaration of support. The numbers at first glance seem overwhelming. But let us think carefully about what a political defection actually means in Nigeria. A defection is a transaction. It is a politician deciding that their personal survival, their access to contracts, their protection from persecution, or their desire to remain relevant demands they move to wherever power currently sits. That is it. It is not an ideological conversion. It is not a sudden discovery that Tinubu's policies are working. It is not law for the man or his vision. It is code, calculated self-preservation. The critical question is this: when a governor defects to the APC, do the millions of poor, suffering people in that governor's state follow? Do the market women who cannot afford tomatoes suddenly decide to vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Does the student who graduated 2 years ago and still cannot find a job suddenly feel inspired? Does a civil servant who has not seen a light bulb function in his office for 6 months suddenly experience gratitude? The answer, of course, is no. And that is precisely what Shinkafi is trying to tell whoever is willing to listen inside ISO Rock. Defectors bring their political network, their party structures, and their capacity to manipulate local results, but they cannot manufacture genuine popular support. They cannot convince people to vote for a government that has made their life harder. And in 2027, Nigerians will not be voting based on party allegiance. They will be voting based on pain. The APC can absorb every PDP senator, every opposition governor, and every local government chairman in the country. It will not change a single mind in Kano Market, in Aba Bus Park, in Agege Motor Park, or in the student halls of Ahmadu Bello University. The defectors don't carry votes in their pocket. They carry ambition, and ambition is not enough. If elections were decided by what actually happened, by what government actually deliver, then the 2027 conversation will be very short, because the scorecard of Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, assessed honestly, is not a document his campaign team should be eager to distribute. In terms of security, the nation is bleeding. In terms of power, darkness is the order of the day. Everywhere is in total blackout in Nigeria right now. Inflation has gone over the roof. That hunger has a face now. Nigerians are hungry. Here is the political truth that Tinubu's handlers do not want to reckon with. The poor, hungry, frustrated people will vote in 2027. They voted against Tinubu in 2023, and in 2027, those same millions will be back again. They will be angrier and hungrier, and there will be more of them because 2 more years of hardship we have created a new wave of first-time voters who have grown up watching their parents struggle, who have decided that enough is enough. Tinubu is not just facing an opposition, he is facing the accumulated rage of a generation. There is something deeply troubling about the direction Nigerian politics has taken under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that is the systemic absorption of opposition politicians, the alleged use of state institutions to pressure governors and party leaders into defection, the talk of making Nigeria effectively a one-party state. All of this reveals an administration that is more focused on political dominance than on governance. But here is what history consistently teaches, and what Nigerian politicians consistently refuse to learn. State capture does not equal genuine legitimacy. You can control every governor's mansion, every state's house of assembly, every local government chairman, and still lose a free and fair presidential election because the people have simply had enough. In Kenya, the Kenya Africa National Union dominated politics for decades until it didn't. In Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe Africa National Union Patriotic Front seemed invincible until it turned on itself. Even within Nigeria, the PDP controlled virtually everything from 1999 to 2015, was the largest political party in Africa by some measures, had governors across the country, had senators, had local government chairmen, and in 2015, a man named Muhammadu Buhari, on his 4th attempt, swept it all away because Nigerians were tired. The lessons are always the same. You cannot permanently suppress the political expression of mass suffering. You can delay it, you can complicate it, you can make it harder, but you cannot stop it forever. And in 2027, with the anger that is building across Nigeria, trying to stop it will be like trying to hold back the ocean with your hands. The city boy movement, the social media machinery, the influential campaigns, the rebranding exercise, all of these tools exist to manufacture perception, but perception breaks down at the point of encounter with reality. And for most Nigerians, reality involves darkness, hunger, fear, and a quiet desperation of a life that is getting harder, not better. No hashtag can fix that. No influencers can talk that away. No defections can make a man forget that he is hungry. To understand why Tinubu's confidence about 2027 is so misplaced, you need to understand the political phenomenon that is Peter Gregory Obi. And to understand Obi, you need to go back, not to 2023, but to 2003. In 2003, Anambra State was controlled by PDP, then the most powerful political machine in Nigerian history. Chris Ngige, a PDP candidate backed by the full weight of the federal government and the Anambra political establishment, was declared winner. Peter Obi, running on the platform of ABGA, a party that most political analysts dismiss as a regional experiment with no national reach, no federal backing, and no serious structures, challenged the result. He went to court. He sat through years of legal battles while the establishment expected him to give up, be settled, or simply disappear. He did not disappear. In 2006, the court ruled in his favor. Peter Obi became governor of Anambra State, not because he had the biggest party, not because he had the most money, not because powerful godfathers backed him, but because he was right, he was persistent, and the people of Anambra State recognized what they were looking at. Fast forward 2 decades, Peter Obi ran for president on the Labour Party platform, a party that at the start of the campaign had virtually no national structure, no governors, no senators, and no financial war chest comparable to APC or PDP. What happened next became the stuff of political legend. Peter Obi won Lagos State. Lagos, the city that Tinubu supposedly built his entire political mythology on. The city he governed for 8 years. The city his political allies have controlled for decades. The city where his name is supposed to be synonymous with political authority. Peter Obi, with no Lagos structure worth speaking of, walked into Tinubu's backyard and took it. He did it not with money, not with party machinery, not with governor endorsement. He did it because millions of young Lagosians decided that they were done with the old order and ready for something different. He also won Abuja. He won Plateau State. He performed strongly across the South, South, and Southeast. He came third in the overall election, an outcome that remains deeply contested by millions of Nigerians who believe their results were manipulated. Regardless of what one believes about the final declaration, the political sentiment was unmistakable. Obi was a force. Now imagine Peter Obi in 2027, not as a surprise candidate that people are still figuring out, not as a first-time presidential aspirant finding his foot, but as a known quantity, a battle-tested political figure with 4 years to organize, with a movement that has already grown more determined since 2023. Imagine that candidate running against a president whose 3-year record includes soaring poverty, persistent insecurity, chronic power failure, and an inflation rate that has stolen the dignity of millions. Tell me, with a straight face, how Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win that election. Tell me how defectors and city boy campaigns will defeat that combination of legitimate grievance and organized popular will. There is a word for what Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC political machine are doing right now. Several words actually, but the most appropriate one might simply be disconnected. Consider what is happening in Nigeria at this very moment. Families in the north are terrified to sleep in their own homes because of bandit rate. Students in public universities are studying without electricity, without adequate facilities, without any confidence that their degree will translate into employment. Young men and women are sitting in cyber cafes in Lagos and Abuja trying to figure out how to get a visa, any visa, to anywhere that is not Nigeria. Retirees are watching their pensions buy less and less every month. Small business owners are shutting down because the cost of doing business has become impossible. And in the middle of all of this extraordinary, grinding, daily national suffering, the political conversation in Abuja is about 2027, about which governor is defecting next, about which APC Chieftain is coordinating the re-election strategy, about rally attendance and campaign song choices. The audacity of it is on some level almost impressive in its breathtaking disregard for human suffering. Think about what it is to say to a mother who cannot afford school fees that the men who were supposed to fix her country are already thinking about how to extend their time in power. Think about what it says to a young man who has applied for 300 jobs and gotten 0 responses. That his suffering is not the point of governance, his vote is. Nigerian politicians have always had a complicated relationship with governance versus politics. The PDP spent more energy on political engineering than on development. Various administrations have prioritized their political survival over the welfare of citizens. This is not new. But there is something particularly jarring about a government that implemented the most painful economic policies in recent Nigerian history. Policies that directly and immediately made the life of ordinary Nigerians dramatically harder. And then, before the people have even had time to recover, pivot to 2027 campaign. It is not just tone deaf, it is an insult. And Nigerians, no matter how long suffering, have a breaking point. Shinkafi understands this. He is saying, Mr. President, before you start counting defectors, count your deliverables. Before the people will count them too. And they will not be as forgiving as your political allies. That warning is not opposition propaganda. It is a senior member of your own house telling you that the foundation has cracks. People, stay informed, stay ready, stay vigilant. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, smash the like button, comment your thoughts and share this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.